What's going on, guys? Matt Everett here with Lethal Camaro, and today I'm creating the install guide for the ZL1 add-ons Wicker Bill extension for the ACS Composite deck lid spoiler. Now, ZL1 add-ons does make this product also for the dovetail spoiler that you can get from GM, but this specific guide is to walk you through the step-by-step process of installing this product on the ACS Composite deck lid spoiler. Let's jump right on into it. Okay, tools for this install. I'm using painter's tape because that's what I'm going to use to mark all the where I have to drill holes and center alignment marks. So you can already see I've already started that. And again, this already comes with the pieces needed with the bolts and the screws. You will need a drill with what they're calling out for a 1/8 pilot hole, or drill bit for to drill pilot holes, and then a 3/8 inch bit for the rivets. Okay, first up in the install process is your preparation. So one of the first things you need to do is find center of the rear of your car. Now there's a couple ways to do this. One way you could do it is literally find center off your Chevy bow tie. That is typically marked center of your vehicle. Another thing is there is a nice line, you can see it, that runs straight up, and even on the ACS Composite it does come to a point, but it's pretty soft. So one thing that I did is I actually measured from the outside edge here to the outside edge here, found center, and then used a taut string to drop right down center to get my center marks. Now, the other side of it is just prepping. So knowing that I'm going to be drilling pilot holes into the top of the deck lid spoiler here, and I know I'm going to be drilling holes into the deck lid spoiler here, I put some painter's tape so it makes it easier to mark the marks. So I'm using just a permanent marker so I can put dots there. And then the other side of it is, you know, lining up the actual first piece of the wicker bill. Because of the drop-in space here, there is required 2 washers that are stacked on top of each other for the bolts. So what I actually did is I just taped them in place so that way it's almost as if that 1/4 inch gap is there. So then when I'm laying everything out, it has the proper spacing, etc. So I think that's a good way to go, and that way it's almost simulated like it will be when it's fully installed. Now, the install process is, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. So it's lining everything up. It's lining everything up, and I hope the instructions are coming through. But there's two different sets of bolts. You have your center bolts that are going within this area of your, it's about right here and about right here of your deck lid spoiler. And these ones use the longer bolts that are in the package. So there's 2 longer bolts and then 6 smaller ones. And then where those 2 long bolts are actually where these 2 washers are used. Outside of that, you actually have these rivet nuts, and again you'll drill an 1/8 inch pilot hole and then follow up either with, I believe it's a 25/64 or a 3/8 drill bit, and you'll put these in there, and what these will do is these will sink in to the ACS Composite and expand so it's a nice tight fit, and then the bolts will go right into it and then bolt up the actual wicker bill. And the nice thing is if you don't want it on and you want to keep, you know, you can actually take it off, and these rivets will sit in there nicely and not look too out of place or awkward. So, which is kind of cool. It gives you a way to take it off without having to worry about ruining or having to leave it on all the time. So no matter what, you're drilling holes into your deck lid spoiler. But again, the rivet nuts will be in there and give it a nice clean look. So outside of that, the next step is to line up. And again, if I had a second person here, this would go super easy. But you need to find the center of the main wicker bill, and you can do that pretty simply by measuring between the 2 bolt holes. So one there and one there. You measure between the 2 bolt holes and then get your line. And then what this does is it lines up with the backside of your spoiler, and you'll want it to sit flush with the top end of And I need to set this down. Again, if I had another person here, it would be a lot easier. But you'll want it to sit flush with this edge, and then you'll make your marks in the holes. And then I'm going to go ahead and once I make those marks, I'll probably have my wife or son come out here and hold it, so then I can push down this side, make the marks for the holes there, and then push down this side and make the marks there, all while keeping it center flush and good to go. So it's not too overcomplicated. That's really the process, and we're going to get right into it right now. So as you saw, I had my son come out and help me hold and align everything. You could see where I put my X marks. I verified by eye that the levels looked trim and good to go. Now, the next step here is drilling the pilot holes. And then from there, it's drilling the bigger holes so that way we can put the nut rivets in, or the rivet nuts, or whatever you want to call them. So here we go. As you can see, I got my 2 holes drilled, and that's where the rivet nuts are going to go. Now, ZL1 Add-ons makes this amazing tool to install the riv nuts. I would recommend buying theirs. It's a heck of a lot cheaper. It's just a piece of aluminum, but it's all set up to allow you to place in the riv nut and get it tight in there. So basically what you do is you take your rivet nut, screw it on there, and you're not going to strip it or anything like that, but you're going to get it on there. And so what you do is you're going to take it, and once you drill out your hole big enough, you slide it in there, and you're going to start turning the nut with your ratchet. And what that's going to do is it's going to start tugging on this rivet nut and pull it tight and make it swell in the hole and get tight, so that way you can then screw your bolt in and be good to go. So here we go. So there you got it. I got the 2 riv nuts there, and now I'm going to fit the piece and make sure my other holes line up for the outside edge. So this is just a temp install to make sure the other holes on the outside edge are lined up appropriately. I have my 2 bolts here just temporarily holding this all in place, making sure it's aligned how I'd like it. And now this is the point where I find out if my holes or the marks that I made line up properly. And they are spot on from the looks of it. So now we can check this side. And again, spot on. Now, typically you wouldn't make your marks or drill your holes until this part is on, but in my instance, I made the marks because I felt pretty confident. So, next step, drilling out these holes and installing the piece. I got all the nut rivets in, as you can see. I will say, when it's late at night and you're tired, these are not that easy to put 8 of them in. It's a little tiring. It takes a little manpower. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just weak. I don't know. But that seemed to be a little bit harder than I thought it would be. But they're in, they're snug, and they're ready to go. So next step is to basically peel off the cover on the wicker bill. So peel off the nice extra stuff and bolt it all up. So here we go. So I went ahead and loosely put all the bolts in, and you can kind of get an idea of what this bad boy looks like. So let's go ahead and tighten it up, get it finished. The last step was to tighten up all the bolts. Did that. It's all installed. Now the wicker bill is on the car, ready to go. So there you have it. There's the install guide for the ZL1 add-ons Wicker Bill addition to the ACS Composite deck lid spoiler. Now, I will follow up with a full review on how the car feels with this installed. Also, if there's any noise or sounds that have been created by it, but overall, fairly easy install. Did take a little time with those rivet nuts, but outside of that, once you get those dialed in and going, not too difficult. But yeah. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys like the wicker bill look? Do you hate it? Again, it's one of those things that some people are going to like, some people are going to hate. I personally really like it. Grew on me since the 5th gen Z28. But again, let me know what you guys think below. It is kind of an expensive route to go with the ACS deck lid spoiler, considering that's fairly expensive. And then if you add the ZL1 add-ons, it's a couple $100. So for the desired look, I think it's well worth the cost, but for those of you out there who are on a budget, this might not be for you, but maybe the dovetail from GM plus the ZL1 add-on wicker bill, for that might be the route you go. So either or, thanks for watching the video, and until next time, I'll see you on the road.